We're here with Tabletop Interviews, and I'm Peter Bryant with Solarian Games, and I am here with Joey Royale.
Good morning, Peter. How you doing?
Good morning. A little rough. We're on the last day of the con,
Yeah.
so I'm as we were talking before this all started, my gas tank is getting kind of down there, but we're gonna tough it out. It'll be good.
The finish line is close. It was worth it.
Yeah. We did the Golden Fez last night, which is really good. So how's your con been?
It's been wonderful. It seems like every year I come, I have just that much more fun. And I come up here with my son Elvis. So he's at an age now, he's 14, where he's really is not just coming with dad anymore. He's doing his own thing. He's playing games. He's made his own friends. So it's a great kind of family trip that we make now too.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have a friend that down in Baltimore. And his kid was coming up here, and he said, "Hey, I sent him up because he loves gaming."
Yeah,
he's like, it was like his birthday present. He gave him like tickets and all this kind of stuff, and he's like, keep an eye out for him and everything if you can. And I was like, yeah, we got him. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, if you need anything or whatever, you want to come visit, you want to talk, whatever. I haven't heard anything from him. All I heard was, hey, everything's good.
Yep.
So I guess he made some friends or something.
Yeah, the training wheels are off. That's kind of what this con is, though. It's big enough that you can meet new people, but it's of a size where you don't get overwhelmed with getting lost in the shuffle and not having seats at games. So it's a nice community.
Yeah, I mean it's like the right size.
Yes.
Like, to me, it's my favorite con size.
Yeah, I would agree.
Again, it's like you said, it's big enough, but not too big.
Yeah, it's still a gaming convention and not a trade show.
Right. So like. For example, like Gary Con a number of years ago when I went was like kind of at the edge of too big for me. For my life.
Sure.
And now it is. Now it's I don't really want to go too much. I mean, I would go again. Yeah, but it's not on my list of must-dos for the year because it's just too big.
I'm at a point in my life where I'd rather just roll dice with people that I'm familiar with and that are close friends in a smaller environment and have that community.
So what did you run? What have you run while you were there?
I ran a couple of sessions of my game, Weird Heroes of Public Access.
Right.
So we had a blast doing that, and it was awesome because people I had met last year had signed up for the game again this year. Oh, so it was kind of like a continuum, almost like a campaign. Their weird hosts were back, and we could go back to jokes from last year. So there was a continuous nature of it. So we had a blast.
Yeah, I love getting repeat gamers because it says a lot. It's a testament. It says a lot about your game.
Sure.
People like it so much they come here, they could play any game at all.
Right.
And they come and play your game again.
And for me, it's a learning experience. So I get to see them have their fun and see how they kind of manipulate the world and the mechanics. But what was really cool this year is that my friend Ian was running a WHPA game last night. So after I finished my game, I got to sit and observe and kind of take notes on how other people have kind of made it their own too. So that was a great little lesson for me.
Yeah, I should Mike, our cameraman, he runs some stuff for me, and I should probably sit in quietly one time the games, just not let anybody know who I am.
Right.
Just play with everyone else as if I'm just another player.
You learn a lot. It's like, because our game is in our head and we have the palettes and the colors and the characters, but when you let other people into that and see how they can manipulate it, it's just even more inspiring. You get more kind of influences.
Yeah. And when it's over, I could walk away with them and go like, oh, what'd you think of that?
Yeah. What was that guy thinking?
Yeah, right. And then get some like real feedback.
Yeah, sure.
Because I worry sometimes that, when people play your game, at the end of it, you say, hey, what did you think?
Yeah, sure.
You worry that, they want to be nice and everything. And I try to tell people, look, unfiltered, say what you want. I don't care. Like, really. Yep. Well, I mean, I do care. I want to hear it. Please don't be nice. Say what you got to say.
My son does a great job of setting the stage for that, because every time he heard somebody was playing WHPA, he would say, oh, I heard the creator of that's a real weirdo, a real creep. So thanks, man. Yeah.
And they're like,
yeah, he did that like 5 times. Like, all right, dude, the joke's over.
Right.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
Please stop doing that.
Yeah. You're not going to get dinner now.
Right.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, we saw him last night in the bar.
Oh, yeah, I heard. Yeah. Yeah, wheeling and dealing. I was ready to crash. And he's like, I got to go to the Golden Fez. Because he and Jason Elliott have become very close.
Yeah.
We spent the first night here. They spent a good 2 hours talking about fashion and music and all that. And Jason and I were just so welcoming and inviting. And like I said, he's like part of the crew now. He's not my son like on the side. He's like invested in it now.
Yeah, that's got to be great.
Yep.
So so tell us about Weird Heroes of Public Access.
Weird Heroes of Public Access is my life when it comes to creativity. It's a very simple rule set. It's a D6 pool, and basically your Weird Heroes of Public Access. The name says it all. Your public access hosts in a pre-internet kind of suburban town, kind of anywhere USA. But something has happened where the full moon never goes away. Like 3 months ago, the full moon came and it never went away every night. So something is amiss.
Okay.
So there's all this supernatural stuff going on, a la, Kolchak the Night Stalker and Twin Peaks, that kind of, apple pie with poltergeist kind of thing.
Right.
And so that's been going really well. And I've been popping out zines for them, kind of like adventure supplements and bestiaries every couple of months. But last year we did a BackerKit for kind of a compendium. It's the rules plus some of those other books plus new content in a hardcover book. And we went all out. It was crazy. I went over my head. So we have the book, and then everybody's like, hey, you got to do stretch goals. I'm like, I want this to be simple. I don't even know if I'll fund. But it went far beyond my expectations, so I wanted to reward the backers. So we got, they unlocked 4 separate dice, with all different logos and stuff for the game and characters on that. We got a drink koozie, the WHPA. It's kind of like a, like the PBS telethon or the Jerry Lewis telethon you get, and it's like the Weirdathon. That's what it's called. You get the beer koozie. We got a contributor zine, which is Tim Deshen, Levi Combs, John Hambone McGuire, Ian McGarty, and Jeff Seifert, and they've all contributed an adventure. They contributed so much, though, it's almost as big as the actual book. It's like 90 pages. So boom, there goes my profits, but I love it. But what was one of my favorite things that we did is that anybody who backed could they could submit their host name, their show name, and a description of their show. So you're also going to get a WHPA TV guide of all the backers and their contributions. So you can do that. And they've contributed ads for businesses in Fairhaven. Right. So you're getting adventure supplements from the backers too. So they're going to be getting a nice box of stuff. It's over Panda Games, is a great production company I've been working with over. They're I think either American or Canadian based. Everything's over in China getting produced right now. So hopefully next month it'll be landed on my doorstep and I'll be able to start sending this stuff out.
Right. That's awesome.
This is going to be our year of kind of really expanding. The BackerKit was great, but 2025 now it's going to get into people's hands.
It's funny you say a BackerKit because most people say Kickstarter. I know BackerKit just started in the last year or so as a competitor, I guess, for Kickstarter. So you went with BackerKit, right?
I went with BackerKit. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of thought in it. Kickstarter had always been great, but BackerKit was always a component of that. Like you got your reports from BackerKit, and I was at the Goodman Games had a couple of seminars on fulfillment projects and all that. The BackerKit staff was great. I got to meet with them and ask them some questions. And I just like how it was able to, I never realized how important everybody out there, if you're just starting out, how important an email list is. That was never my thing. I was always kind of like underground. I'm going to do it from the basement and I do this and that. Not a lot of, but if you want to make a project where we're at in the world right now, the email list was great. And BackerKit imported everything. And they kind of give you a temperature check of where you are. Are you ready to launch? Do this. Promote a little bit more so you can maximize. Their kind of equations were very helpful, especially for me just starting out.
And and it sounds like you got a fair amount of traction.
Yeah.
And so
it was good. Far more than I thought I would.
Cool.
And I think like BackerKit's kind of like I said, the equations and the algorithms and all that really helped for a guy that doesn't have business acumen at all.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking when you were talking about doing your public access and it was kind of like a telethon, right?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if you did in the last day, you did a couple hours as a telethon where you come out and you're like, hey, we need some more donations.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely thought of that. And I think we're actually going to do some video projects in the future.
Right.
I've been able to team up with a crew of like-minded creators. It's once again, a lot of the people that contributed to the zine. Levi Combs, I love Levi. John Hambone McGuire. Brian Shutter from the Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. These have been previous Total Con attendees. I got my friend Ben and Ted from Philadelphia. They do a game called Don't Tell Mom and Dad, which is like the Goonies.
Okay.
And then my friend Tiger Wizard from Exalted Funeral and Epic Level. So we all got together because we're all small independent creators, and we're starting our little like our evil super corporation, the Legion of Doom, to promote each other. But we have a YouTube channel now, so we're going to start doing content on there now that we have a crew. We're going to start doing that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and you do. I've seen some of your videos where you talk about like cryptids.
That's
on this.
Yeah. That's actually not me. That's Dr. X. He's the host of Unknown Mysteries of Legend.
Right.
So that's actually. I can make this announcement now because we're almost at the finish line. That's actually going to be its own project.
Okay.
It's I went down to Philadelphia with the guys from Don't Tell Mom and Dad. They are wonderful technicians in terms of VHS and like filming stuff on VHS, editing and special effects on VHS.
Oh my God.
So pretty soon there's going to be a half-hour VHS only episode coming out of Unknown Mysteries of Legend that combines kind of adventure hooks for Weird Heroes of Public Access and their game, Don't Tell Mom and Dad. So this is going to be a role-playing game adventure supplement in the form of like In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy, but it's Dr. X. So we're trying something different. Not a zine or a book this time, but a VHS. So everybody go out right now to your Goodwills and start stocking up on VHSs so you can watch this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You can probably get them pretty cheap now, I think.
Well, like everything else, the pendulum swings. Now you have the people collecting them.
Right. So now they...
Yeah, I have diehard VHS friends and even DVD friends now because what if it all collapses and we get, there's that sound wave that blows up all the digital stuff.
Right.
We're going to be clamoring for for VHS tapes.
Yeah, I need to get a Walkman with a cassette.
Absolutely. We got to go all the way back, put the 8-track back in the van, all that. Yeah.
Do you know I had an 8-track growing up?
That's awesome.
When I was a kid.
Yeah. Great quality.
Yeah. It's so funny when I think about it because it was out of date when I got it.
Sure.
But my parents gave me it was like a one of those, you get the stereo system.
The hi-fi.
Yeah. Right. And it had a cassette player in it and a turntable, but it also had an 8-track player in it. And I remember I had several. I had like Hall & Oates.
Of course, yeah. I was very scared of the song Man-Eater by Hall & Oates as a kid because I really thought it was about a creature that was eating men.
It kind of was.
Absolutely. Some sort of succubus,
Just ask my ex-wife.
No respect. The first time I was in high school, I was sleeping over my friend's house and his dad had an 8-track, and that's the first time I ever heard Kiss Alive, too.
Okay.
And I was never the same since.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and I wonder if the Call-in Oates is still around. You remember that?
Call-in Oates?
Call-in Oates.
What's that?
Somebody set up a 1-800 number.
Oh, this sounds great.
So if you needed to, if you wanted to hear a Hall & Oates song, you could dial this number and it would, you could press 1 for Man-Eater, press 2.
Wow, when you really need that fix.
Yeah, and it would...
Call-in Oates.
Call-in Oates.
That's genius.
And it was around for a while. Like, it may even still be around, but it was like way past what I thought would have been like the survival date for something like that.
We grew up in amazing times. I have text threads all day long with the guys, that group, the Sewer Rats, where we're just sending back and forth like country buffet training videos, 1-900 commercials from the old days and stuff like that. Calling Oates, call a real vampire.
Right.
Yeah, like he's got nothing else to do at 2 o'clock on an afternoon. He shouldn't be sleeping, but he's answering calls from the kids, calling from his grandma.
Who is this? Oh man, that's really good. We should do some stuff like that. Just some fun.
That's what really inspires WHPA. It's like the prizes in the bottom of the cereal box.
Right.
Those novelties that we grew up with.
Right.
The mail order catalogs. Remember those? That was like getting masks and stink bombs and all that kind of stuff. Ninja, you could buy full ninja gear weapons and outfits, the tiger claws, ninja stars,
the X-ray glasses.
Oh, they work too.
Oh man, that's awesome. So you got all your WHPA, and you got your Dr. X.
Do you
have anything? You sound like you're very busy. You have anything else going on?
So the Sewer Rats, that group that I have, we are going to be working on a kind of a cross-system zine where we can showcase all of our stuff. And maybe we were talking about like kind of a spin the bottle thing. Like, all right, I rolled you. I'm going to write an adventure for your, for whatever, 3, 2, 1 action for you. And you're going to do Neon Lords. And we do a whole book for that too. But what we also want to do, we want to do the Sewer Rats scholarship, where people will submit, first-time creators will submit an idea for a zine, and we'll fund it.
Oh.
So if you win, we will send it to Mix'em. We'll pay for its printing, and you get them, just to kind of propel other creators to get their feet in the water.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, have you thought about doing a Patreon for something like that?
So I would like to get to a Patreon for myself as well, but a lot of my pals in that group have a Patreon. That seems to be really catching on. And I also like the idea that it holds the creator accountable to keep on creating.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sit back for a month and be like, "Oh, I'm depressed." It's like, nope. People are paying. There's that check coming in. I got to make something for them. So I think that is in my future.
And there's something to be said for that, because like Jason and I decided, James at the time, we all decided that we were going to do a podcast, like a video cast every week, and it had nothing to do with the fact that we had a desire to do another thing.
Sure.
Right. It really came out of, we need to engage with our audience more, you know, with our fan base more, because we create in the dark.
Yep.
And if you don't say anything, or you're not visible, people tend to kind of forget that you're there.
Sure.
So we created our show Tabletop Weekly, and it has forced the three of us, and now Jason and I, to interact with our audience every week.
Yeah.
And we don't have like big numbers, but we don't care. That's not what it's about. We're not that, and that's also another beauty of it, because we decided this is not going to be like a gig that we're worried about.
Absolutely, sure.
Like, this is like, if 10 people watch this and that's all that ever see it, that's okay too.
I shouldn't even proceed this with, not to be corny, because it's not corny at all. It's stupid to even say that. But like the quality of the friendship I've made through this hobby, and having that crew of friends to hold you accountable and to inspire you, is I'm 45 and I have a full-time job and a family, is far more valuable to me than trying to hit the big numbers on a BackerKit or winning any.
Right.
Like, for a con like this, I just want a couple hours to sit down, leave the world behind, and escape with some of my best friends, and not have to worry, because I do have friends in the business, and like we talk about that a lot. We're like, "Oh, you're so lucky," but they're like, "Nah." It's like what was my favorite thing is now my 9 to 5. You know, and I have the meetings and I have the things that I have to do.
Right.
So my time for actual gaming has been kind of reduced, and So you got to make that healthy balance.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other night. I was like, a friend of mine had texted me, and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing a stream right now if you're bored."
Yeah.
And I text back to him, "Ha ha ha, what is bored?"
Yep.
Right. Like,
yes.
I haven't been bored for 20 years.
Yeah, I know.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, if I didn't have anything to do, I would go. I think I would go crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I had to go to went to the hospital a number of years ago, and I was in that I'm in the hospital room, and of course I'm recovering and everything, and I was just like, I got to get out of here. I can't take this.
Yeah.
I cannot take laying in this bed any longer. And I had my appendix out.
Yeah, I've been there.
And the doctor said, you should take off 6 weeks or whatever. And I was back at work the next week.
Oh, sure.
But I told my boss that I can't do anything heavy or whatever. You want me to come in? I'll come in.
Yeah.
I was on salary. They were going to pay me either way.
Yeah.
I could have stayed home and got paid for 6 weeks. But I was like, I can't. And they, now I could, but back then I couldn't.
I think I get, so if I am on vacation or all that, I'm usually not writing or creating.
Yeah.
It's when I'm back in the swing and the healthy stress of work that I'm most creative. So I think I need that tension, the tension of adult responsibility with the, childhood passion of I have to make stuff that doesn't exist.
Do you ever feel, because I get this sometimes too, do you ever, like when you have like a number of days off, like say during Christmas break or something like that, do you find sometimes it's hard to keep creating, but it seems easier when you have less time? Like I work all day and then I come home and then I do my creative work. Right?
Absolutely.
But then when I have a day off, sometimes I'll do less creative work that day. And I don't understand what that is.
I don't know.
I have more time.
About this. Yeah, I think it's like a therapy thing for me. So like I have very intense days, and my wife is very patient and supportive. She knows it's almost like working out. I wish it was as good for my body, but I run down to the basement. I have to be very regimented. Okay, I have 30 minutes to pump something out. Or what I also do is I'll have like 6 canvases primed, because I like to do painting as well. And I'll have 6 like little canvases primed with acrylic, so I can just do everything really fast. I'm like, all right, this is my week. This is my Monday through Saturday. So I know I have to complete one little monster. That's my therapy. Okay, I have washed off the day job.
Right.
I got my creative juices out. Now I can be present,
Right.
as a husband and a dad. So yes, absolutely.
And you know, so you work in education.
Yeah.
And you know, you have a lot of kids that you know that you're responsible for and stuff. Now, does this help with, you know, like inspiring kids to do stuff? I gotta imagine it does. Right? Yeah. Like do the kids know that you do this as well?
They have an inkling of it. I run games on Thursdays and Fridays. I have 2 groups of about 7 kids each, 4th and 5th graders, and they are salivating. Like, when are we going to play again? And like, it's terrible. It's sometimes like, oh, I got a grown-up meeting. Somebody call. I got to, and their hearts, but they're really into it.
Nice.
So, and they are starting to come with their own dice, and they are starting to play with their parents at home. So it's starting to trickle out. At our youth services bureau in town, they now have 3 nights of D&D because so many kids are trying to do it. They had to open up 2 more nights, so it's blowing up. But last Friday, we were driving up here. My son gave me an adventure that his friend, a 14-year-old, had written and illustrated for WHPA. So that's sitting in my room right now, and that's what I'm going to do as we're having breakfast. Is I want to go through this. So, yeah, it's like it's. Even though kids these days aren't really aware of what public access is or what a Caldors is, but like they're getting into it. So yeah, I guess it is. It's leaking out. We're radiating.
My God, Caldor. So I found this website that has old T-shirts.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They're like regional T-shirts.
Yeah, and they had Caldor T-shirts.
Caldor, Bennies. Yeah.
It's like, God, I need to buy one of those.
That used to be one of my favorite websites, the Caldor Rainbow.
Right.
They'd be going to all these dying stores looking for old label scars on buildings of all these places.
Do you remember a drugstore that used to be around called People's Drug?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, the Rite Aid bought them out.
Okay.
Back in the late 80s. Yeah, you know, you're a little bit younger than me, so maybe you wouldn't remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was 16, I worked at People's Drug Store.
Nice.
And they had a People's Drug Store shirt. I was like, oh my God, how do you have this?
Yeah, that was great. Like, I always go back to reminiscing, but like, you'd had to go to the pharmacy to buy comic books.
Yeah.
There wasn't too many actual comic book stores. That was a little bit later, but like, that's where you got all your cool stuff.
Yeah, we had a News Mart.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah, the mall had a news rack where it was that's what I used to love magazines as a kid. And I think that's why I got so into zines. But like back then, all these fringe magazines, like UFO magazines.
Yeah.
And I was an avid collector of Weekly World News, you know, the tabloids and all that as a kid. And I think that's really influenced my work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and that had to have influenced
this huge. And actually, just last week, I found... Oh, man, I'm going to forget the name of it, but it was an RPG from the early 90s, and it was a tabloid-based RPG.
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
It's not, obviously, it's not paranoia, but it's something, it's a word like that. And I'm going through this, so I'm like, oh, my God, this is wonderful. It's speaking to me. But yeah, that is, I mean, we grew up with, like, the fear of unsolved mysteries coming on in that soundtrack, and like I said, Twin Peaks, all that media at that time really spoke to me, and I'm channeling my love for all that. Yeah, with a touch of Pee-wee's Playhouse and the WHPA.
I have to send you a link. I did it. My friend does movies. Yeah, he's an independent movie maker, and we did this one down in Ocean City, Maryland, and the idea is that you know this alien lands on the boardwalk and is walking down the boardwalk and like waving at people and stuff like that, and then we were dressed up in these. Like Kim suits or whatever, these radioactive.
Oh yeah.
And we were, I had like a meter thing, and I'm following them. And the idea was that the alien goes through, and then we go through behind, like scanning stuff and like picking up where he's been. And then it didn't really turn out initially the way he wanted it real well because we had these mics on like I have right now.
Yeah,
but we couldn't hear each other through the suit.
In the suits.
So it was kind of impossible to have any kind of real dialogue between us. So when I got all the footage, he's like, hey, can you, because I was going to be his editor for this. And he's like, put this together. And I was like, well, I don't have a story really. I don't have a script. I don't, like there's no, can't really use it the way it is. So what I did is I figured, oh, you know what? I cut it as like in search of, I called it Fear of the Unknown.
Excellent.
And turned it into that. And then I just narrated over it.
Beautiful.
So it's just like Ocean City, Maryland.
Yep.
2023.
That's how you do it. The old cut and make a story around it. Yeah.
And it turned out really good.
That's awesome. That's the thing. That's why the kind of how I approach planning for games. Rarely do I have a fully fleshed idea.
Right.
I have a couple of seeds and I'll let the players kind of put it together. They're the editors.
Right.
I have a couple of scenes. They do the improv in between. And do
you kind of just let it go? Like, in other words, when they suggest stuff and they
absolutely, I'm more likely to say yes.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like, Jean Grey powered supernatural stuff, but it's more like I said, I have a couple of plot points that I got to get them to, and really in between, that's all it is. That's how, like, when I do my WHPA zines, it's really not you can't go from page to page and play it at a table. You really have to kind of chew on it and make your own connections.
And I have to assume that you used to watch SCTV.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
because that was sort of like, it wasn't a public access, but they treated it like it was.
Yeah, that was the flavor. Absolutely. Yeah, and the Fernwood and all that kind of stuff. Those were big influences.
And I like the what was it, the vampire guy?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The camera would like come in.
Yeah, he just passed away. Yeah.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Those guys were geniuses.
Isn't that where we got the two Canadian guys?
I know what you mean. Yeah. Martin. I mean, what's his? Cheese. It's too early. I didn't have my full coffee yet.
Yeah, it's Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's cool. It was Bob and Dave. No, I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But all right, so cool. So what's coming next?
So
I know you said you got your box set's coming out.
Box set's coming out. I have 3 more zines in the can ready to go. So I kind of have my spring and summer laid out. So those will be coming out. I usually advertise on Instagram, get_haunted_industries. And then also Sewer Rats RPG is kind of our group that we put together. So I'll be putting out a couple more zines. And then amongst the Sewer Rats, we'll have some projects coming out. And then every month I host Joey Royale's Pizza Party, which is like a talk show, kind of Pee-wee's Playhouse kind of situation about RPGs, creating action figures and all that. And that's on the Sewer Rat. It used to be on Goodman Games, but now we kind of moved it into our own space so I can move. Even though I love Goodman Games still, I want to start spotlighting other companies as well too. Yeah.
And Goodman Games, I mean, it's really cool. Goodman Games has been kind of good, really good to you.
Oh my God, Joseph is wonderful. Yeah. That's what got me my start. Like, he's the guy, he's like, hey kid, you want to, like, he'll give you the license, you can do your third party stuff. And everybody at that company has been wonderful. I really learned the ins and outs through them.
Yeah, it's amazing how many companies, like you would think that, oh, what do I have to pay to get licensed? Most companies don't.
No,
like nowadays,
it's free advertisement.
Yeah.
As long as you don't do it, as long as you don't do anything offensive or stupid, it's great for them and it's great for the community. That's what I've learned. Like, you can have the best product in the world, but if you don't build that base of community first, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I always advise new designers, people getting into the industry and stuff. I'm always like, design for someone else first.
Sure.
That really, I mean, like, because everybody's like, I got a game, I want to, look, I believe you.
Yep.
And that's awesome. Like, but the name of the game really is visibility.
Absolutely.
And if you try and launch on your own, you're less likely to be successful than if you kind of start with someone else.
Yep.
Ride their coattails for a little bit and then sail on your own. And most of those people are happy for you to do it because, like you said, it's free advertising,
Sure.
more material.
Yeah.
We got a guy that does stuff for us, this guy, Scott Congable. And, he was wanting to like do more stuff. And we were just like, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do your thing and we'll promote you. So every time he puts a book out, it goes out on our website and we, send people his way as much as we can. And he's helping us.
Yeah, sure. And as a beginner creator or a veteran creator too, the other part that's kind of forgotten about that people aren't proactive about is even before you get into the game, start sharing other creators that you enjoy out on social media. It's free and it takes 3 seconds to click a button so that when you do come out with your own stuff, you're not, you've already put in the work and you've built those friendships, sincere friendships. Like, oh, I love this. I'm going to share this out and give them the advertisement. So when your stuff comes out, you don't have to come knocking with nothing to show for. You didn't put in the work. Oh, can you promote my thing? Like, well,
Why?
yeah, where have you been? Yeah,
Exactly. All right, Joey, where can we find you? You already said
yeah.
the
Get
certain address.
_ haunted _ industries.
And
I do most of my stuff on Instagram now. I got a Blue Sky account, but I haven't tapped into that. I got to figure that out.
Yeah, I know. Me too. It's like the momentum of things, right?
Yeah.
Like I have a Blue Sky account. I haven't done anything with it. No reason. It's a whole new thing.
It's a whole new thing. Yeah. So I'm just thinking I can take a picture and post it up on Instagram. And Joey Royale's Pizza Party on the Sewer Rats RPG YouTube site.
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks for
Thanks,
joining
man.
us.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Keep up the great
absolutely.
work.